Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back to the show. We are joined once again by our dear friend, Michael. Pleasure to have you back here from Atlanta, Georgia, helping so many with the work you do. He's an author, he's a friend, he's a father, right? Times
Good
two.
boy. Good boy.
How old are they, by the way, now?
Well, actually, they're quite older than your children. One's
Are they in their 20s or 30s?
35.
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, it's a pleasure to have you here. And Michael Polyakov. And again, you may want to visit him at worldofwaltjmpolyakov.com, or the other website is enlightenment123.org.
That's a pretty good website, actually.
Got it. Yep. Perfect.
Braille exercises.
Beautiful. Well, pleasure to have you here. And speaking of pleasure, I see the lady pleasuring herself in that picture. Nice picture. He's all right.
I usually won't show up in here, but I had to move the camera because.
What a segue! That was perfect. My pleasure, and yes.
You might know her.
Oh.
Very few artists in America can make a living off their art without totally syndicating it. Okay, which is not a good thing for art. I mean, it's good to buy it cheap, but it's not so good for the artists. Like Thomas Cade, and those guys. And her name is Vera Struck.
Okay.
And she was a CPA. Up to I think age 35, and then I don't know why she moved. I can't remember why she came to Atlanta, but she came to Atlanta, and then I met her for some metaphysical social group that the lady wanted me to go to as a psychiatrist to see what issues were. Because it's a good group, okay, and especially the sex energy comes in those groups, which is you shouldn't be fooling around with. Teachers should not be having sex with their students.
Wow, I don't know this story.
There may be exception because they're going to get married or something, okay? But I mean, in general. And so she wanted me to look at that. So I said, well, I don't really like doing these encounter groups, but I'll go. And so I'll just finish the story a little bit. But it's an interesting story. And so all these people getting going there. And there's one person I met that actually in Chicago who actually been in one of these inner center meetings, whatever they were. So I was prepping and stuff, and he goes, "Yeah, what they're going to do next? They're going to wait for somebody to have not a nervous breakdown, but like a emotional catharsis." And he goes, "This is like the second day. It usually happens sooner."
Yeah,
I'll take care of it. So I went in there, and so I had an emotional catharsis. I mean, it was. I mean, I had one, but it was sort of planned too. Okay. I went up to talk to Apple, who was like the major girl, that lady up there that was doing things. And, so then after that, everybody started doing stuff. And it was a mom issue, not to blame moms, but, that's your first person you love when you're a baby. So there's always things to add on to it. So in any case, it went well. Everybody was happy. I was more outgoing than it really was. And it was a good meeting and stuff. But during that time, they'd have dance breaks.
Okay.
I hate the dance breaks. I learned tango, because it has a feeling to it, okay, but not just dance breaks.
Yeah.
And so in any case, I met Vera there, and then when it closed, she drove up in her BMW and said, "You want to come see me?" I go, "Well, when you want me, yeah, I'll come meet you." So I want you to like some date and stuff, So I go over to her and his apartment, and it's all covered with artwork. He works with Roma frames and all kinds of things, and so she was having trouble with the board where their big condo was. She's somewhat aggressive, and they're mainly gay guys, which aren't too aggressive usually. And I never could figure out what the actual story was and how much is over interpreted. So I got to tell you this, but this is funny. So, she made me a really nice dinner. We're sitting in the living room, and I was sitting on the floor, and she goes, "Kiss me." I go, "Okay, I like to kiss. Kiss is good." And so I kissed her. She kind of pushed me away a little bit and said, men, it's not always men to put their tongue in the women.
It's opposite sometimes.
Sometimes, but I mean, it's not something you might think, if you have some men. Not that it's aggressive or anything, And I go, "Okay, fine. We'll try it that way." You know, it's okay. That's like shock and stuff. But in any case, eventually I invited her to come move in with me because she was having a real problem with this board of directors in this big condo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a criminal case going on with shoved her or something, and she didn't want to get a lawyer. I told her stupid, but it's okay. So I moved her in out of kindness more than anything else.
Of
Out of
course.
And so she was there. Yeah, but she wants people want to stand like really close to you, stand up really close like this. It makes you uncomfortable, right? And you know, and she and then she started arguing about something, you know, and I don't usually get angry, but I'll raise my voice because that's all men can do. I mean, men only can hit or raise their voices or break something.
Mm-hmm.
We're emotionally compromised.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not abusing you when I raise my voice. I'm raising my voice because I'm you know, I'm getting this is bothering. I don't want to waste my time talking to you about this.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing. And so one day she goes, you know, your trouble is, Michael. He goes, all the girls love you. They all love you. And I go, gee, Vera, take it back. There's some truth to that, but I never knew that. Yeah, but eventually she decided to move out, but she thought, but all these, there's that painting there, and she had a bunch of paintings that I got, like 9 of the originals, because I gave her a bunch of money for cancer treatment, breast cancer. And then that's when I was rich. And so she wanted to pay me back. I said, pay me back. I said, pay me back. Said, okay, what do you want to pay me? I don't have any money, she says. And I go, well, how about give me some of your pictures? She go, they're really good ones that I like, you know. And she said, okay, I'll make the Buddha picture I made for you for the big New York show, and my Buddha picture that was made to it, I'll give you. I said, I want this one that has all these seeds in it. It's a naked woman, but you can't see her head down there. It's the best painting, one of the best paintings I've ever seen. So I got all her paintings, and she said, well, that's about $50,000. So I go, yeah, but I'm not giving you retail credit.
Yeah.
You sell to you sell to a dealer for 50%. So you can add some more things to there, which she did. She has a lot of coffee.
Good.
You know, and then she moved out and stuff, and you know, while we're with her, she's really big into Meals on Wheels for, like, you know, people with HIV.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's helping with more donations and stuff, and trying to care up the progress. But then she finally moved out, and I didn't have to see her very much anymore. I have all these paintings, which are probably worth a lot of money.
Oh.
But you just never know what happens.
Yep, life throws you curveballs every day for sure.
That one's called Independent Woman.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's not really. There's a couple in here, but it's not really a good one. That's a good one. Some paintings, but I can try moving my camera. I don't know if it'll work, but let's see if I can see it. See that one over there? And the lady. Yep. That's another one of hers. But the color's not too good in here because it's really got goldish.
No, it's nice.
And then there's a painting over here that I won.
Oh, wow. It's behind there. I can see it above near the
you
window.
Can't see it. There's a painting by a gay artist from Cuba that I won in an auction. And if you look at painting, you know he was a gay artist.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I've never seen a gay artist ever get female breasts laying on the side with the right.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
he's that good.
Apparently, it's a picture of a really famous ballerina and dancer in Cuba. Long time. So that's that. But I think last time we were talking about a little bit about how we should look at love, I believe. And I want to finish that because it's pretty important, I think. Because especially in English, we only have one word, basically.
True.
And secondly, I mean, no one ever teaches you what love really is.
No.
I can't remember. I mean, maybe when you get older or something, somebody talks about in a philosophy class or something, or, a self-help class. But really, it's if you understand it properly, it works out really, really well in terms of yourself internally. And it should turn out well for the other person because you should always be concerned about her or him if you're a girl. That things always work out well.
Yeah.
If the relationship starts out, and most times they peter out. Hey, pretty good pun, huh?
Yeah.
And then people get mad at each other. Most of the time, why should you be mad at each other? It just drains on your energy, drains on her.
So draining. Yes.
Yeah. And so. what I do know, and I know that some of these things I tell people, I know from a fact, okay? It's not hypothesis, it's not a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I know from personal experience in other interesting places, such as, where heaven, okay? And, so, if you look at how the universe functions in terms of action and stuff, it's really about verbs, okay? When people want to have a relationship with God or a goddess or whatever, okay, that's fine. You need that, okay? But if you look at what's really going on, they're verbs. Like, for example, what do? We observe, we intend, we feel present, having presence. If you work hard and want to transcend to a higher state, you have to have the whole energies of transcendence.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe almost should be 6 of them, but I think that's 5. But the one that's most important to realize is that the universe actually cares about you and everyone else. Okay. But it has to sort of act impersonally, which isn't how the word is used in our language usually. Impersonally is just how can I care about people in a way that's best for them overall, long term, in what the plan of the universe is, and have no biases. And I will tell you, angels like some people better than other people. Well, they don't like people very much at all.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine a warrior angel. Might see a young human guy that's really a warrior.
Yeah.
So they have a resonance. And in a beautiful female angel that helps people learn how to communicate is probably named Jill.
Mm-hmm.
And so this there, but caring is an interesting thing, because if you think the words we usually use, like for caring, would be, you could say compassion, but caring is a good word in English because it means you want to help someone else for the sake of helping someone else, right? And so Holy Family, or God, if you want to call it that way, actually cares a lot about everything in this universe. But the only way to be unbiased is to give out, which I think I said last time, pure goodness, which is altruism, generosity, all the things, you see a lot of the saints of the church, whatever church do, okay? And, and Jesus did that.
Yeah.
And Rabbi Hayal did it. So a lot of those guys do that stuff. And so goodness is given out, but in order to use goodness, you have to have a creature to do it, right? So we're going to have dogs, animals, creatures. And because it's an unbiased gift, because it's meant to be used properly, I can't tell you how to do that because that would bias it.
No.
Is that it means that we would really want to be compassionate and caring and helpful and altruistic and kind and generous to another person, even if you don't know them, but particularly to your family. Because God's a family, we're a family, so that's the major way to do it, okay? And it makes sense because you know your family. If you have a good, decent family, it's easy to get those feelings going back and forth.
Yeah.
A lot of this trouble in the family, it doesn't work so well, so you have to learn it later. And so, and so what's the best word that I know to describe how do you learn how to use goodness and caring that God, our Holy Mother, whatever you want to say, just freely gives to her children. And the answer to that is you have to be wise.
Yeah.
You have to know I had choices to do this, that choice not as good as this choice, blah blah blah. And so there is an old metaphysical saying that Rosicrucians use, Aleister Crowley used, other people use it, New Age guys probably use it, is that love is the law, love under wisdom. And Crowley said, do what thou shalt, do what thou will, but it's sort of misconstrued.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that love, from my perspective, is the tool that we use to understand the goodness that God gives out to the universe to grow human species to a place where they could be equal to angels, as a metaphor, okay?
Yeah.
And so That's what love is when it says in
Yeah.
a sense, okay. Even though it's it says that you don't just quite use the right word in the same. I mean, Richard said, goodness is the whole law, goodness, wisdom. But since we get that confused, then I just say, well, let's just call love wisdom.
Yeah.
Talk about goodness, and then you learn how to use it properly. You see, and once you learn how to use it properly, it does wonders. When I talk to a lot of people, and most of the things I talk to people is innocent. Okay.
Yeah.
It's because they're hurting and I can feel it, and I'm sort of empathic, and I just know they have good qualities. And so that's goodness under love. And why this is nice is that you don't this duality with romantic lust. Now, romantic lust is a powerful evolutionary force, right? That's why you have kids, because you want to have kids, and why you have to have a family for a while. And so everybody gets confused by that, because that's what you feel strongly.
Yeah.
Because it's not a wise thing; it's a biological thing.
True.
Right. And so, so when you meet a woman that you like, I mean, that always automatically comes up. But once you understand how the system works, then you can actually love them, because that's if you can use that feeling of attraction and desire, but it's sublimated into love and wisdom and goodness.
No.
Because I've talked to people, and they're looking for a husband and stuff. And I like to go to trap places, and I just try to pick some people, get to talk to them, and try to reformulate how they think about themselves. And things aren't easy. The single moms, that's my single mom thing. I want single moms to find good husbands.
I know, never easy, but yes.
And, and so for me, romancing is not the lust part. Sometimes it comes into it, okay? But what I found is, I think I told this before, that you can love easily because it's wisdom and goodness. And so what I found, if you can talk to a woman, even with altruism and higher purposes in there, okay, you can love her. It's easy to love people, women. You love to eat people.
Yeah.
It's not hard. We take lust out of it. And and if you choose to love somebody who's in control of you are.
True.
So what happens if it moves along and and she decides maybe she grows up and she doesn't want you, or you saw I see a better husband for her? Well, step aside. Should you pine about it? Should you be upset about it? No. Why? If the woman needs, is going to want to break up, then how do you do it in a way that is best for her?
True.
So in a sense, you still could remain friends in principle. Once you get sorted out honestly. And so that's the kind of love the world needs to fix it. It's probably not going to happen. That's a good intervention by God. But after anesthesia today, I have my teeth out and stuff. That's probably the best. But see, that's why I'm going to be honest. I like being on your show. Okay, I really do.
Oh, thank you. I like just talking to you like my friend. I mean, you are my friend.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why. Okay? That's why. Because you have you have a special energy, and I know, and it comes from your children. I mean, because you care for your children.
Yeah, Matt's nurturing side of me. I always wanted kids my whole life. It was like my goal. Like I had a career job, and I always wanted kids. Ironically, it took me so long. But then I finally did it. I did it by myself. No, I was 35, 36, 35. I said, I'm done. I'm sick of this. I said, I had an ex-boyfriend who said he would try to have a baby with me, and then he backed out on me. And I said, screw you. I'll do it myself. I don't need you. I went to the doctor and I got pregnant myself. And I said, bam. So it's like someone really wants something, you can make it happen. I believe.
If you truly want it for really good reasons, and you have good reasons.
Yeah. And
and
it's
it works
amazing.
really,
It's
really
so
well.
rewarding, but it really is so time sucking. I wouldn't change it, but if I knew it was this growing, like I always thought my mother would be here to help me. And she passed 6 years ago when my son was like 2 and the other one was just born. And I'm like, she was like I thought she was going to be like
Yeah.
my live-in nanny. And then now I'm like, I can't afford that. So now I literally with my kids 24/7 and there's no relief and I love them, but it's a lot. But you always think sometimes your life is going to be different. I'm like, oh, my mom's going to be my nanny. I'm going to be able to go out and have a life still. Like I haven't had my nails done. Look at this. You can't see since December. They're disgusting. They're grown out. I could show you my friend. Let me lower the light. Can you see them? Look, see how grown out they are?
They're pretty light, so it's hard to see, but I can see.
Disgusting. They're all
Yeah.
grown out. It's just like acrylic on top to keep them strong. This one just felt, I mean, disgusting. Like, talk about self-care. And did I tell you I broke my foot 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, you did, yeah. I hope it's getting better.
So
fast.
forget about the pedicure. That's never going to happen either. Yeah, and I got I think 4 more weeks, right? Oh, it's exciting. But I love life. I love living. I love it. I love it. And now more than anything, I love cuddling up with my boys in bed at night. It makes
Yeah.
me happy, It makes me happy. It's just like, joyous, and then you think about, well, what do you have in this life? You do so much, but what do you have? You have to leave a legacy to someone, right? And children it's like the next, it's a blessing. So you have someone to leave my thoughts, I'm going to teach them all I know, and they're probably not going to agree with it, but they'll have a good memory of a good mom one day when I pass and know that I would love them and supported them. That's
They'll
so
remember you.
that kills me. It's so hard. Like my heart, like I still want more kids. I'm like, maybe I should adopt, but it's like I would love to give love to another like child. Like, my heart goes out when you see these children on TV and then abandoned in orphanages, and I'm like, yeah. My grandpa was in an orphanage in Poland many years ago, and he was brought over here. But it's like that you have to have such a big heart to love someone. Think about the kids who don't have the love. It just kills me. Now I'm digressing and I'm gonna cry because I feel so bad
That's
for
okay. No,
children
that's good. That's
that
good.
people don't have love and they don't have someone to love and hug them. That kills me.
See, this is what
Ah,
a few basic changes in how people thought about
Yeah.
things make a big difference.
mm-hmm,
I mean, after you get rid of all the sociopaths, okay,
yeah,
just can't be born anymore. But
mm-hmm,
in probably in Mexico and parts and stuff, and
mm-hmm,
Europe, Eastern Europe, at least where there's enough food and stuff for the okay life, okay.
mm-hmm,
If you see the families, there's the granddad, they're still, I mean, not with these days sometimes,
Yeah.
but the grandparents, the parents, and the children.
mm-hmm,
It's a unit, and
yeah,
that unit is designed, either by God or it came evolutionarily, so that the grandparents stay involved with the family, teach the kids their knowledge, okay,
mm-hmm,
and help the parents, take care of the farm or whatever it was, and that's why I know for a fact Swedenborg went to heaven. He knew for a fact. Other people, I'm not talking about their death experiences, okay? It's
mm-hmm,
hard. They're always too similar. But he went to Sweden and things, and so some things that some people know are true, at least in our universe, okay? And the problem is they want to make God a noun.
yeah,
Now there are sacred images, okay, which act like nouns, but when you can't, so you can't say what God is or
Yeah.
isn't. It's like a point, a mathematical point combined to a true infinity.
mm-hmm,
Can't get your mind around it and stuff, but that must also be true from this practical sense because it's so important on Earth. Father's not the most important thing on Earth. Mom's not the most important thing on Earth. She's more important than father usually. And the kids, it's the family unit. It's their strength of humanity. And everybody that oppresses us wants to destroy it.
mm-hmm,
And it's not a bad idea and stuff. And this is on the side, but I was running a house in Curacao, but bad luck happened, and that's okay because I didn't go there. But we used to go to this hotel, and when I go to like hotel resort hotels, I get to know the staff. So when I come back, they hug me,
Aw.
and bartenders, I go meet their family sometimes if it's close by if they're interesting. And so we were there one time, and I was sitting next to Andrew. He's like 16 then, and there was a lesbian married couple, which wasn't very nice States at that time, but we're there. One was Oriental and, and dressed like a boy, sort of. but she still had her breasts and stuff. It was incongruent, okay?
Mhm.
And then the other woman was like a regular lady. And so they're at the bar one time, Andrew and I were talking to Rome, the bartender and stuff, and they walked up there, and the young lady sat down, not the husband, the woman, and she starts talking to him, and then there's two people from New Jersey, a young couple come up with a little girl, and they may have gone to Disney World before. It might have been a really big vacation,
Mhm.
She's like about 3, well, between 2 and 3. I mean, it's hard to guess their ages, and she was dressed like a little princess. She was really cute, okay? Put all that stuff, bullshit aside, but she was really cute, and she was happy. And so they left, and and when they go, she goes, when we have a child, I go, oh, that's going to happen. You either adopt one, or you have to get some guy who'll just have sex with you for money.
Yeah.
Okay. And and then I'm not going to be a princess and stuff. You can't do this and this and this.
Mhm.
See, and then
Aw.
Andrew was watching her, and Andrew's like me; he'll say something sometimes, but he's not old enough to know better not to say it.
Yeah.
So she said that, and Andrew goes, "Yeah, I hope you never have a kid because you're going to wreck it." I go, "Oh, I thought that's true." Andrew should have said that, but it's true. And and it was just like child's a gift. They have certain qualities, certain things they could be. If things worked out right.
Mhm.
And you need to appreciate them for who they really are.
Yeah.
Not like nowadays where everybody's trying to check people that this great percentage of population is really girls or boys.
Mhm.
You fix it when they're young, and then I'm smart enough to make a decision, or old enough,
Yeah.
right? And so it's just having a
Great.
but society can have good families, and if men want to get married, I don't care. If they're nice to each other and they go to the bathhouse, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
If they're good people. Same thing with women. But everybody just has to fight. It's terrible. It's not love.
Well, pleasure to have you here again. Michael, how do we reach out to you? We are out of time. I'm so sorry. We keep talking. I always forget. Just it keeps happening. Go ahead. Tell us the best form of contact.
Okay. Excuse me. You can try support at thegrailexercises.org, which should be working now. You can try email at enlightenment123.org.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go to the world's jmpolyakov.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Have a fantastic day, a great week, and we'll be in touch next week for sure. Looking forward to it.
Check with Ashley for sure for me.
I already texted her and
okay.
I told her she better reach out to you. And she wrote back, I spoke to him. I said, okay, well, speak to him again. I said, he has something to talk to you about. That's it. Thank you.
See, but speaking is not good enough. I want a schedule.
You want a schedule? I got it.
They sent me
good.
the first one, you see. They made a mistake. They sent me the first schedule.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that it's not like, because sometimes the days changed, okay? Like it changed on my schedule.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
perfect.
when you were, maybe when you broke your foot or something,
Exactly. Oh, yeah. No, I was working.
I have to know that, okay?
Of course. Thank you so much. I will let her know. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.